Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a major shift happening in global politics, one that could change the balance of power in Europe forever. The United States just pulled the plug on military aid to Ukraine, and now Europe is scrambling to figure out its own defense strategy. So what happens next? Will Europe step up, or are we looking at a security crisis on the continent? Let's break it all down. It all started with a tense meeting between President Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at the White House. What was supposed to be a simple signing of a mineral trade agreement turned into a high-stakes political showdown. Shortly after, Trump made the bombshell announcement: no more U.S. military aid for Ukraine. And we're not just talking about future aid. Even shipments already heading to Ukraine were called back. That's right, Washington shut down support overnight. Now some might say, but isn't Europe contributing more money to Ukraine than the US? Well, yes. But when it comes to actual weapons, things like tanks, missiles, and artillery, the US has been the backbone of Ukraine's defense. And now, that's gone. To put this into perspective, over the past few years, the US has supplied over 3,155mm artillery shells, more than 3,000 Stinger missiles, 10,000 Javelin anti-tank missiles, and over 30 Abrams tanks. That's just a fraction of the military support Ukraine has relied on. And now, Europe has to figure out how to fill that gap. So the big question is, can Europe replace US support? Well, that's complicated, the numbers are staggering. European defense analysts estimate that without US aid, they'll need to immediately deploy an extra 300,000 troops, buy 1,400 modern tanks, acquire 2,000 infantry fighting vehicles, and stockpile 1 million rounds of artillery. And let's not forget, all of this will cost Europe an extra 250 billion euros a year. That's $270 billion annually just to maintain the same level of security. But here's the kicker. Most European nations weren't even meeting their NATO spending targets before this. Now, they need to double their military budgets almost overnight. Talk about a wake-up call. With the United States shifting its military focus to Asia, Europe has no choice but to ramp up its own defense spending. And they're doing it fast. The European Commission just announced an €800 billion military spending package, the biggest increase in EU history. Some leaders are even pushing to rewrite financial rules so that military spending doesn't count toward national debt. Germany, known for its strict budget policies, is now considering removing all limits on defense spending. That's a huge shift from the way they've operated since World War II. But even with this massive increase in military spending, Europe still needs more cash, and that's where things get controversial. Right now, Europe is holding $300 billion in frozen Russian assets, money that was seized after Russia invaded Ukraine. Some European leaders want to seize those funds permanently and use them to support Ukraine. Countries like Poland and the Baltic states are pushing hard for this, but others like France and Germany are hesitant, fearing retaliation from Russia and the legal challenges that come with taking another country's assets. So where does this leave us? Europe is facing a new reality. For decades, they relied on United States military support, but that era is ending. The EU is preparing for a post-American security landscape where it has to defend itself without Washington's help. That means a massive military buildup across the continent, potentially using frozen Russian assets to fund Ukraine's war effort, and redefining how military spending is calculated to allow for unlimited defense budgets. This is one of the biggest shifts in global military power in decades, and it's happening right now. So what do you think? Is Europe ready to take control of its own defense? Or will internal politics and financial struggles slow down this military expansion? And what about the United States? Are we making the right move by pulling back? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into global politics. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.